weirdest dream you've had that you don't actually think was a dream at all.
Oh, I got one for the books for you, and I'm gonna share this story with y'all before I go to bed. So,
that means he would have to tell his parents that he robbed somebody. At this point, this is getting bad because it's about a month now, and it's to the point where sometimes he'll see her in mirrors. He's talking about this to his...
Do something with it.
It's just money coming to me easily. Money coming in and needing me. Money coming in repeatedly. Money coming, it's just money coming. It's just money coming to me frequently. Money coming in to be with me. Money coming in secretly. Money coming, it's just money coming. It's just money coming to me always. Money coming in all day. Money coming in all pay. Money coming, it's just money coming. It's just money coming to me frequently. Money coming in to be with me. Money coming in secretly. Money coming, it's just money coming. It's just money coming to me easily. Money coming in and needing me. Money coming in repeatedly. Money coming, it's just money coming. It's just
Weirdest dream you've had that you don't actually think was a dream at all.
oh, I got one for the books for you, and I'm gonna share this story with y'all before I go to bed. So, most recently, I found a neighborhood cat. Anybody that knows me knows that I am terribly allergic to cats. It sucks because I absolutely but I can't hold a cat longer than 5 minutes before my skin breaks out in hives, and in about 10 minutes, I can't breathe. However, I ran across this guy. This young man, I nicknamed him Cheese. I was able to hold him for about 10 minutes. No allergies, no visceral reaction, no rash, which is crazy for me as someone who has an allergy as severe as I do with cats. He was also injured and looked a little malnourished, so I was going to bring him in the house, make sure he got some food, some water, check on his paws, make sure he's okay. I was going to release him. It was late. I was making sure he was okay. I went to bed. Listen to what I'm about to say. I had a terrifying dream. I'm not going to say nightmare because I knew for a fact that this was a message. In this dream, I am chasing something in the forest, and I mean hunting it down, because someone kept telling me, you need to get rid of it. You need to get rid of it. This is not what you think it is. This is not what you think. It was playing in my head, to the point where it was almost a panic. My ancestors kept saying, you need to kill this. You need to get it out of your house. Do not let it take root. That was the main thing I kept hearing, was do not let it take root. I woke up. I'm sorry. My partner woke me up. He could hear me crying in my sleep because I don't like having to do that. I don't like having to turn into that more vicious part of myself. So I am crying in my sleep. He wakes me up to check on me, and I immediately snap into a panic attack. That next morning, we were coming home because both of us work nights, and the cat bolted out of the door. May I mind you, that morning we had cleansed our entire home. By the time we came home from work, that cat not only was sitting at the door, ran and the next day, hold on, because I got a picture of that too. The next day, he was at the pool of my apartment complex watching me come through the door. I wish this picture was clearer because I wasn't paying attention to him. I was walking my dogs. By the time I had gotten to my door, something told me to turn around, and he was staring at me, walking the dogs, getting to the door, opening and then locking the door. Listen to your dreams. As your magical practitioner cousin, listen to your dreams, because they will tell you a lot more than what you think.
Yikes. I have never had a dream like that. I have very detailed dreams. Sometimes I can remember them from years ago, but I've never had a dream about them telling me to get something out of my home. I had a dream of a cat before, but it was on my balcony. But that's really crazy. Has anybody had any animal type of dreams, or dreams that were warnings? If so, put it in the comments below.
But that just means that you can go get you a snack, kick your feet up, rub your feet together, and get ready for story time before you go to sleep. So there's this guy, let's call him Dre, and I know I might be whispering, that's because baby girl's sleeping, I don't want to wake her. Anyways, Dre is Nigerian, but he's a Nigerian that grew up in the hood. And this is Dre's story, this is Dre's submission. Now, Dre was Nigerian, of course, his parents was from Nigeria, they had, they spoke the language, had the accent and everything. But because Dre grew up in the hood, he wasn't really close to his Nigerian roots. Like, as far as like witchcraft and stuff. Of course, he ate the food. Y'all get it. Anyway, Dre started hanging out with the wrong people, right? The wrong crowd from school. And long story short, he started robbing people. He was catching licks left and right. And this is the story that made Dre stop catching licks. One day, Dre went to the park with his friends to play basketball. After they finished playing basketball, they're wrapping it up. Dre's walking back to his car. His friends pull off, but he stayed because he wanted to. So he stayed in the parking lot. He sparked up and he just chilled for a second and he did what he had to do. Now, across the street from the basketball court in the parking lot that he was in was an ATM. And as Dre is about to pull off, this lady just comes out the ATM. And from where Dre was looking, because it's those type of ATMs that's like kind of like glass, she took out a lot of money. So Dre's like, I got me a lick. So boom, Dre put on the shiesty. He put on a black hoodie. Mind you, this was nighttime, so it was dark. Now, I should say that Dre only like caught licks off people that are harmless because he doesn't want to harm anybody. He really just want to get some money or some phones or whatever. The lady looked like she's not really gonna fight back. So Dre walks up to her, like in front of her, and stops her because she was walking. And Dre says to the lady, "Hey ma'am, I'm not even gonna lie. If you don't want to get going right now, you got to give me all that money you just took out." Now, Dre's fully prepared to like put up a little fight. You know, he's not really going to hurt her. But she doesn't say anything. She just stares at him. The stare was a little scary for a second, but he's like, maybe she didn't hear me. He's like, "Ma'am, give me your money." And so the lady is still like staring at him. She's not saying anything. She's not running. She ain't fighting. She's just staring at him. And so he pretends like he's about to pull something out of his hoodie. He ain't pulling nothing out. So the lady's like, type shit, and hands him over her bag. He takes the bag. He's like, type shit, and goes to his car. And the whole time he's running towards his car, the lady is just staring at him go. And for a second, he's thinking, he like, yo, is she the feds? So he's like, yeah, I really gotta lay low because she might be the feds. So he goes to the car, he drives off. As he's driving, he looks inside the purse, and the money that he thought was there wasn't there anymore. So he's like, yo, where's that money she just pulled out? Like, I watched her put the money in her purse, but the money's not there. So he's like, all right, bro, this was like pointless. So he opens the window as he's driving and he throws the purse out. And as he's driving, there's a bus stop coming up and there's a red light. So he has to stop at the red light. And guess who he sees at the red light? The lady. But that's weird because the lady, he's driving. The lady was on foot. He's like, that's impossible. That's impossible that this lady is at this bus stop right now because I left her all the way back there. It's like, all right, whatever. I'm wildin'. Let me go home. He goes home thinking everything's going to be okay. Oh, but no, baby, because over the next few weeks, he's seeing this lady everywhere. Whether it's the corner store, whether it's Walmart, whether it's school, he is seeing her everywhere. And the thing is, she's not saying anything. He would literally just see her walk past and just look at him. He told his friends about it, but his friends don't believe him because whenever he sees this lady and he tries to show his friends, nobody's there. It gets so bad that he's seeing this lady in his dreams. At first, it was some dreams, and then it was like every other day, and then it was every night. Now, mind you, he's going through this, and he's Nigerian, and as much as he wants to tell his parents, that means he would have to tell his parents that he robbed somebody. At this point, this is getting bad because it's about a month now, and it's to the point where sometimes he'll see her in mirrors. He's talking about this to his friends all of the time, to the point where it's starting to be concerning. Like, his friends are starting to be worried about him. Of course, he wasn't hanging with the right crowd, so they kind of like stopped being friends with him. And so the fact that they stopped being friends with him made him crash out even more because his life is falling apart now and he doesn't even know how to explain it. And whenever he tries to explain it, he sounds crazy and nobody believes him. So at this point, he's really crashing out. It's so bad to the point where he's trying to keep himself up because he does not want to keep dreaming about her. And so it got to a point where he's like talking to her, but not her. He's like questioning her, like, what do you want from me? I'm sorry. I will never rob again. And this would happen in the most random places because he's losing his mata. So one day his family noticed that he ain't been out his room in like 2 days. So his siblings decided to go check up on him. And when they went in his room, that young man was in bad shape. And he's like blabbering and nobody's understanding what he's saying. He is acting unhinged. So his siblings went to his parents and his parents came in the room. Ultimately, Dre was so bad that his parents ended up having to take him to a psych ward. When he got to the psych ward, they gave him medicine to sleep. So now he's like sleeping a long time and he's seeing this lady. So whenever he wakes up, it's even worse. Finally, he works up the courage to tell his parents what happened. And so the moment he told his parents the full story, they understood. They immediately signed him out of that psych ward and they sent him back to the village. They booked him a flight with the quickness. When he got back to Nigeria with his parents, they had to do a lot of work on him, like a lot. And come to find out, he ended up robbing a lugau, a witch. That witch's magic was pretty freaking strong because it took a lot to get it all off of him. He had to alternate between church and root work. After a couple of months of being in Nigeria, he was finally back to normal. Dre says he will never, ever in his life catch another lick ever again. Dre told me to tell the YNs nowadays that it's all fun and games until you have to deal with something spiritually. You can't fight your way out of that one. You can't shoot your way out of that one. Anyways, make sure you guys are following me on Instagram in case they take this app away. Yeah, because how else are you going to get your stories? Exactly, you get it.
Now see, that young man who went to go steal from the witch and she ended up basically punish him, that's good. Because why did you steal from her, right? If she couldn't have done that or maybe call the police, you know why? A lot of goddesses or witches or alchemists, we don't believe in calling the cops, honey. Stay away from people like that and prevent yourself from something bad from happening. Not saying that witches and warlocks too, because we got men out here, that's what we call men who are considered as witches, they call them warlocks. But you, first of all, you shouldn't be stealing from people. And in the books, like witches books or whatever, like different books, different information, there are rules that you should follow. Like you shouldn't be doing things to people that you don't want done to you. Because at the end of the day, that lady is not wrong for what she did. And she will not be getting karma because she did not go in and mess with that guy. He went and messed with her. So therefore, in the spiritual world, she does not deserve karma. She does not deserve karma because she simply just returned to sender what was done to her. I mean, it was pretty extreme by hunting the young man. It's a good thing that his parents might not be into all that, but they know of it to be able to point it out and catch it when it happened. Because my thing is, a lot of people who just assume that, oh, there's nothing nefarious going on. There's warfare going on, spiritual warfare going on. And it's good to know the signs and symbols, that way you can point it out. You notice how he knew that his mom would know what to do with it, but he was afraid to tell the mom because he knew that he stole her money, so therefore he would have to explain to his mom why he did it and why she did it to him. So therefore she knew also the repercussions and also the terms that you should follow when it comes to stuff like this. You don't do things to people, don't touch their stuff, don't steal from them, don't mistreat them, or not necessarily like the people are going to do anything to you for mistreat them, but you never know what the person feels, what you said to them made them feel. They might put you in a jar, or they might do something even worse to you. So I would not recommend it. Yes, guys, I did change my top because it's kind of cold out here. It's getting really cold and I'm about to go back inside. But you have to be careful because you don't know what the person can do to you. And if the person is malicious enough to do something bad to you, she could have done worse things to him. Seeing her everywhere without her being there is simply, she used mental work to mess with him, to mess with his mind, because what are you doing? What do you mean you're stealing from someone that you don't even know could do something to you, So be careful out here. Don't try to go mess with people you don't know, because that's just like someone who you don't know whether or not they're a good person or they woke up on the wrong side of the bed. They could have done something to you. So therefore, it's not just about witches and stuff. The only difference is somebody else with a gun and someone who can use the power of herbs and oils and everything to do something to you. It's the same thing. So, You just got to be careful out here because you just never know who you're coming across every single day. So be mindful of that. That young man, I'm glad he's doing better now. But if his mother did not know about the spiritual world to combat spiritual warfare with spiritual warfare, it would have been bad for him. It probably would have gotten so bad to the point where he probably would have lost his life. But it's a good thing that his mom knew the signs, because as soon as he told her about it, she knew immediately what she needed to do. And she took him back home in order for them to get that. It's called, in Creole, it's called an expedition. If I were to translate it in English, it won't make any sense. Expedition. I don't think if that's the same word, but expedition is when somebody throws something on you, or transfer or travel through your mirrors or whatever, to be able to throw something. I just heard somebody walking. To be able to throw something at you. So, you just have to be careful. Penny, come on. That's a big ass dog, girl. If that dog try to attack you, I won't be able to help you. Sorry. My dog see a big dog. You notice how tiny dogs always try to go for big dogs even though they know they cannot take on the big dog? Look at her, look at her, look at her, look at her. There she is, where is she? There she is over there. Penny, come on. Just a hot mess. She know that dog will take her, just swallow her one bite. Anyways, guys, so just be careful out here and put up your protection work. Put up your protection work in front of your house, in a plant somewhere. Do your protection jars, protect yourself, so that way you can be safe, because people out here are doing stuff, whether they're using a gun or they're using herbs and oils. People out here are doing stuff because at the end of the day, we are battling spiritual warfare, and you have to know how to protect yourself. And for someone who talks about being a goddess and an alchemist, I know how to protect myself. I know not to mess with other people because I don't want any bad karma coming on me, and I know how real those things are. And don't get me wrong, I know a lot of people are like in spiritual psychosis. I'm not that at all. I'm not that at all. I just know the information. And if I feel the need to protect myself or the need to do like a money spell because I have some work that I'm trying to advance, or, a business spell because I have something to advance, I'm not going to wait on luck. I'm going to just make it work for me. And that's really what it is. And for anyone who thinks it's demonic or, oh, you need to be saving. Oh, may the Lord forgive you. Why don't you seek for forgiveness from the Lord yourself? Because I pray and I talk to God every single day. I read my Bible still, I've read the Bible from front to back, and I say my prayers. I say prayers to God, prayers to my angels, prayers to my ancestors. Doesn't mean God don't know me. Just because I know this information does not mean I need saving or, I'm going straight to hell. For people who keep trying to send me to hell in my comment section, I'll meet y'all there. And for those of y'all who simply love me for who I am and the type of content that I bring, I love you guys too. And hopefully you have the best of year, the best of time, the best of life. Because at the end of the day, in my channel, I don't come here to spear hate. I come here to spread information, to spread the knowledge, things that you should not know. I'm sure a lot of people on this channel actually have told me that, hey, I've never even heard about people doing love spells against each other. And hell, I didn't even know it was so popular in, our community, or even in white communities or Spanish communities, but it very much is. It very much is. I have friends who literally have put love spells on their husbands, and their husbands worship the ground that they walk on, and their husbands not being malicious or turn terribly bad because they know how to do like mental work to combat whatever it is that's working against them, so I know people who does it all the time. I know people who do like ancestral veneration and all that. So it's nothing bad, but at the end of the day too, you have to know what you're doing, and you have to be careful, as even when you're meeting someone, you don't know who that person is, you don't know who they work with. So don't be all rude and nasty to people, because you could wake up one day and your tongue is gone. Not necessarily your tongue, but your vocal cords are gone. You cannot talk, and all that person needs is a piece of your hair, or hell, a picture of you. And with social media nowadays, so just be careful, protect yourself, protect your home, protect your mirrors in your house. And also a mirror video is coming out about like positioning of mirrors and what can happen and all that. So watch out for that. Anyways, guys, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.